And hello for the last time. This is part 3 in my series of what I wish I knew when I was starting as a software developer. This one is focused on source control and leveraging productivity tools for your development environment to maximize your efficiency. Then I include some final pieces of advice. On to some more technical things. I wanted to throw in the importance of knowing Git or whatever version control you're using. Sit down and get comfortable with your source control because you're going to be using this tool every day, and it's the last thing that you want to be struggling with when you could be doing much more valuable work. It takes a little bit to get used to, but I'm sure there's a ton of tutorials. But take the time to get to know this. Seriously, there's too many mistakes to be made if you don't know what you're doing. Like, you could do a forced push, and if you don't know what that means, that could be very disastrous. Knowing how to stash and then access your list of stashes, how to cherry pick a commit, how to interactively rebase. These are things that you'll likely need to know day to day. So take that time and learn these things so that you don't have to spend hours each time you run into a problem with it. I believe this is essential. So speaking of tools, I think something that is very important is to define your ideal setup to optimize your productivity. This is like a one-stop shop action that once you've done it, you could keep iterating to make a little bit better, but you'll just feel good. Your workflow will feel seamless and you'll be doing your best and most efficient work. So Git just being one of the tools, I highly encourage you to get to know all of the tools at your disposal. There may be a recommended IDE that you use at your company. They could have other tools that they provide for you to test your work, local environments, demo environments, staging environments. You get to create your toolbox as a developer, so don't limit yourself by only using tools that you currently know. Try expanding that and using it in more creative ways to get better. For example, if you've never used a Vim before, here I am again promoting Vim. Try it out. Maybe you'll take a little bit longer in the beginning, but what if you love it later? If you use an IDE, get to know that IDE in and out. Use shortcuts, set up, macros. There's so many things that you could do. Don't be afraid to look for more tools that'll set everything up even more perfectly. I guess the bottom line is don't miss out on efficiency due to laziness. But of course, don't spend too much time, there's a limit. The last point I want to make is basically help others. At my company, we have this awesome hour meeting every week where developers share new things that they've learned, things about the product, things in general, workflow, anything, so that everybody learns and gets a little bit better. Sharing knowledge is not only to make you feel great, but make everybody better because of it. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. Try to use those to develop a team that can capitalize on those. I feel like a competitive nature is just not the way to go these days. If the people around you get better, and you all just elevate at the same time. So why be greedy with knowledge? If you foster that kind of culture, I can guarantee you'll see a healthier, happier, more open and more productive team. There are a few bonus points I wanted to make. I'll go through them pretty quickly. I think you should always go above and beyond if you can. When you build a feature, go create that documentation. You know it best right now, and people will thank you for it later. Do the extra thing on that feature that makes it that much better. Don't be afraid to speak up if you think you have a solution that makes more sense. And keep in mind that when you're coding, your audience here isn't the product people, it's the developers. So maybe the more efficient in terms of runtime solution isn't the most efficient in terms of readability, and you have to kind of factor and weigh those two things when you're deciding, am I going to implement this really hard to read thing, or am I going to make it easier and end up actually saving time by not making it so complicated? So just think to yourself, whenever you're developing something, solving a problem, doing your everyday work, would a lifelong learner, generous, efficient, patient developer do this? And if the answer is yes, go for it, 100%. I hope you enjoyed and learned a little something. Please let me know if you did. And if you have advice for your younger developer self, leave it in the comments because I'm sure other people will want to know. Thank you so much for watching up until the end. I really appreciate you, and I see you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.